Hello again, this is Sports Betting Whale. It's Saturday, March 18th, 2017. Welcome back to the YouTube channel. Please visit us at thewhalepicks.com, thewhalepicks.com to learn more about my history as a successful sports handicapper over the last 25 or so years. We actually have an ebook coming out too, out of the autobiography of the Sports Betting Whale. A lot of fun, has some great stories in there, and talks about how I was able to, from early on, run up small amounts into large amounts, and shows documented proof. And I give you the backstory on how I won hundreds of thousands of dollars and millions of dollars off a small amount on some terrific runs. Yesterday we had a winning day, almost a very, very big day. You can see how quick it happens and how close we were to a possibly a 100-unit plus day in one day. One of the round robins that hit was the Brooklyn Nets in the under on Brooklyn tied to the Orlando Magic. We took it for the first half and for the game. Any of you who watched the first half know that we had the under almost right off the bat. It was Isaiah Thomas wasn't playing for Boston, and he's a big part of their scoring machine there, so we were quite comfortable that we would get the under. And without Isaiah Thomas in the game, we also felt that Brooklyn would have a great chance of covering. Brooklyn was winning most of the first half, and then Boston went on a little run. We came back. It was tied with a little over a minute to go. We were drawing 4. Under was never in any question. I had a really strong feeling that if we would hit that side in the under for the first half, we were going to hit the Orlando first half and probably win both tickets at the same time. Give me an example of how quick that happens. Each 2s and a 3s at 2 units each pays back about 27.5 profit. So we did hit it for the game. We ended up hitting Brooklyn and under. They were +8, covered pretty easily, and then Orlando covered against the Phoenix Suns. So we ended up a little tiny bit down on the first half, and then up 27.5 units on the full game. But again, that could have very quickly been +50, 55, 56 units off the same combination. You're seeing I'm going to start to do that as I heat up. I want to get you three game combinations, even at the standard amounts, that are going to bring you back +55, 56 units off the same 3 teams. These are the tickets I took yesterday, and also you'll see the tickets that I'm going to be playing that I did take for today that I'm recommending for you as well. Yesterday, between the half times and the round robins, I ended up cashing out a couple different times, but at the end of the day, after betting about, I think around 60-something thousand dollars, ended up netting over $8,000 yesterday, which that's not a bad day's income. It's not anything exciting to me, but it's better than losing, that's for sure. All right, today we're going to have a series of round robins. I'm going to go ahead and answer some questions that came in first, as customary now on this YouTube channel. If you want to email me, you certainly can email me or text, and I'll get back to you on the next day's video or reply back via text or email. First question: how do your baseball round robins work? Will we be betting on run lines or money lines or totals, and what are the average odds of these bets? Well, I love baseball because in baseball it's all based on odds, it's not based on spreads. So unless we take run lines, we're going to be in a situation where we win the game, we win. And there's no worrying about whether we covered a certain number. The other thing too is with the odds, it allows us to take different combinations of round robins, not worrying about the 4-teamer hurting us. 4-teamers, as I mentioned before, on all -110s is the worst bet for a player you can have. They give back 11-1 when the true odds are 16-1. Example, a 3-teamer that you get back 6-1 plus your original bet 7-1, and the true odds are 8-1. So they've got the spread between 7 and 8. That's fine. But when you move up to the 4-teamer, you would think you'd be getting 14-1, but you don't. You get back 10-1 plus your original bet of 11-1. Some places 11.5 to 12-1, but the true odds of hitting it are 16-1. How you calculate that? It's 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. So it's total of 16. Every bet is a 2-to-1, 50-50 shot. So how does it differ? So in baseball, we're going to be taking totals. We're going to be taking first 5 innings. We're going to be taking some run lines and a lot of straight side plays with the odds. Generally, my round robins come back. They're usually threes and a 4, and we'll typically see them come back between 8 and 11-to-1 return on the ticket. If we hit all 4, if we hit 3, we make maybe 50% or 60% profit on the ticket. So the goal is for me to catch a streak and put combinations together where I'm hitting 4 out of 4, 3 out of 4. Sometimes for smaller amounts, I'll even take a 4s and a 5. And sometimes I'm so sure of games, I'll take a minus a run and a half and take the extra odds, betting on the fact that the teams I'm selecting will win by at least 2 runs. Happens all the time. It's almost too easy for me in baseball. It's just every year I go on terrific runs in baseball. Last year I did as well. Every season it's been extremely profitable. The problem with the books is that they know baseball is the most predictable sport of all the sports, and a lot of them don't want to take as much action as they do on the less predictable sports like football and basketball. But we'll work our way around those issues too, but it's going to be a tremendously profitable season for all of us, and that's going to be a lot of fun. Next question. I've been following you for 4 weeks now and noticed that you usually take the underdog along with the under and the favorite along with the over. I thought that typically when the dog covers, the game goes over, and when the favorite covers, the game goes under. Why do you take an opposite approach? I'm actually seeing that that's not the case with the plays that I've taken. I've seen that if you're looking for a game to go under the total, most of the time you're going to want to take the points. And if you're looking for a game to go over, you're looking for the favorite to have a high scoring game and take it over. There's a lot of correlations. You'll see that I do take some favorites and unders and some different combinations, but I've been studying the correlations for a long time. I'm very, very good at it, and you'll see that over time that those pattern correlations that I take are extremely strong, and I highly recommend that you follow me on that system, because that's something that every single season has worked real well for me. Next question. What do you think is the best way for us to take $1,000 bankroll and turn it into $100,000 using your picks? Fun question, great question, and we've discussed it before. I just really, for clarity, want to go over this again and again and again. If you have $1,000 bankroll, like me, that I can replenish because I've got other income and I've got other sports winnings that I've got held back. If you have $1,000 bankroll that you can replenish, then you can be more aggressive with it, and you're going to be taking 2% per parlay, total of 8 on a 2s and 3s, and higher when we get into the round robins with 3s and a 4. We'll progress once we get hot, and you'll be taking higher percentages of a higher bankroll. That's how you're going to be able to turn 1,000 into 100. But if you don't have the ability to replenish the $1,000 bankroll, we have to take it a lot more carefully, and it's going to be harder to turn a 1 into 100 quickly, because we've got to protect the downside more. So again, if you have $1,000 that you can replenish, then we're going to go for it, knowing that you might lose the full $1,000 possibly several times before you win the 100. But I'm sure you're going to be quite happy with a $4,000 investment for a $100,000 return, right? I certainly am. And that 100,000 doesn't stop at 100 either. It continues to go forward as basically as high as they'll let you go. So it is 1 to 100, but in my case, it's been 1 to 1,000,000. So keep in mind that once we get a certain amount up and we're playing with house money, I'm very aggressive and very, very good at progressing the bankroll higher while protecting the downside as well. If you only have $1,000 and that's it, then you're going to divide it up by 5, and you're going to have 5 shots at running up to the bigger numbers. And again, our goal is to get the $1,000 back into your bank account, back in your pocket, so you're playing with house money. It's a lot easier to be aggressive when you're playing with someone else's money. If you're playing the casino games, or if you're playing in the stock market, or whatever you're doing, when you're already profitable and you're just risking the profit, it feels a lot better than when you're risking your own money. So the goal is to get everyone to being risking profit, not seed money. If you only have $1,000 and you can't replenish it, then we'll consider the bankroll $200. And if you blow out the 200 and you blow out it again, you blow out it again, and the fourth time you go on a run, you're still in action and you still can progress up. And after we get up to a certain point, you'll put the 1,000 back into your pocket, like I said, and we can be real aggressive on how we'll take what you do have and roll it up into 100,000 or more. Hopefully that explains it. Again, the round robin system is one where it's of course a lot harder to hit round robins than it is to hit straight bets, but when we get hot, the difference between a round robin system return on investment and a straight bet return on investment is not even comparable. You could be betting, go on one of my hot streaks where I hit 19 out of 20. If you're betting them straight up and you're using money management, you really, you doubled or tripled your money. When I go on 19 or 20 run on a progressive system, you're going to easily be up 50 to 80, 100 times your money. So that's why it's more fun, and to me, it's a smarter way to go. Okay, today's games. We have a total of 6 round robins. Some are games in halves, and some are not. So here you go. So as you can see on the screen, today I've got 32,000 in play, and we'll let you know tomorrow what that 32,000 turned into. But as you know, with the sports betting whale, I think it's quite unusual compared to what you're used to seeing. I put my money where my mouth is, and we win or lose together. So I'm sure that makes you feel good both ways, but I'd rather win, so let's win. First round robin in NBA is the over on the Oklahoma City game at 214. It's 502 over on Oklahoma City. 503 Portland on the side plus 3.5. 505 over on Washington at 214.5. Next one is the same thing, but we're taking it in the first halves. 1502 over on Oklahoma City. 1503 Portland first half, and 1505 over on Washington first half. Third group, also in the NBA. 507 Cleveland Cavaliers plus 3.5. 510 under on the Chicago Bulls 191.5. And 511 Spurs minus 3.5, taking the same combinations in the first half. 1507 Cleveland first half, 1510 under on the Bulls first half, and 1511 Spurs in the first half. College. You see there's a lot of trends on the overs right now. Teams fight when they're coming down the stretch because it's win or go home. So there's nothing to lose. Yesterday I saw teams that were down 12 or 14 that started fouling at the 4-minute mark. Like, oh my goodness, there's no way a game goes under when teams start fouling that far out. So these are all going to be, first one's going to be all overs, but we're not taking them the first half because of the fact that the overs in the second half the overs for the game have a better possibility because of all the fouling at the end. And we might, in certain situations, for those who've subscribed for the halftime emails and text alerts, we're going to be taking advantage of this and letting you know when to take overs in the second half on different games in college going forward. 524 over on the Florida State game, 526 over on Butler, and 530 over on Gonzaga. That's 524 over on Florida State, 526 over on Butler, 530 over on Gonzaga. Last group, 532 Arizona on the side, playing St. Mary's. I'm a big fan of Arizona. I think they're going to go a long way in this tournament. 528 over on Purdue, 522 over on Florida. So we have 5 overs in the college, and that's been the trend. So I look forward to it's really logical why it's happening. The spreads, the totals that are out there are not adjusting to the fact that these teams are fighting and fouling and doing things towards the last 3 or 4 minutes that you don't normally see in a regular season. If you're normally down 10 or 12 points at 3 to 4 minutes to go, you're not fouling yet but that's what's been happening now. So and that's even without overtime. You always have the overtime factor too when it comes to overs. So there you go. That's the plays for Saturday. Look forward to seeing you again tomorrow for the college and pro games. Thank you. Have a good day. Going forward, I'll continue to release all of my daily picks to you for free if you text me or subscribe to my mailing list. So make sure to text me or subscribe to my free mailing list so I can continue sending you all of my picks every day. I've made tens of millions of dollars betting on sports over the years, and now I'm finally breaking my secret so that you too can share in my success. All you have to do is either click on the link in the description of this video or send me a text message to my phone number at 702-462-1135. If you're texting me from outside the United States, add the +1, so it's +1 702-462-1135. I will begin texting and emailing you with all of my daily picks whenever they come up. Remember, subscribing to my mailing list is 100% free, no strings attached. And every day that you're not a subscriber to my free mailing list is another day that you may have missed out on one of my devastating winning runs. So be sure to click on the link in the description of this video or send me a text at 702-462-1135, or if you're outside of the United States, +1 702-462-1135 to join my mailing list today, 100% free. And you'll be the first to know when I release my killer picks every single day. Again, 100% free.